That's a crazy
That's very
time
close
for
to a
reload.
PB for Siri. I think it's just shy of his PB. But for the second year in a row, he's had an exceptional run here.
Could be the last one.
Yeah, Box has made it now to the final boss here. Setting up. Got Patrick dealing with a King Behemoth encounter.
Yeah, and we can just see how brutal RNG is. I think Patrico was actually a minute ahead of Seri for most of the run, and now just Pandemonium and like everything slows him down.
And here comes Box's attempt at the boss. Ooh, starting off with an ambush. Never really want to see that.
Not worth.
But that's just blind. Blind is a very tame one. So basically what we don't want to see is a physical attack on Leon.
Let's see.
Everything else usually doesn't matter. We need usually 3 turns, sometimes 2. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you can get away with 2 hits on this. But
Sometimes
3 is more
it's
common.
2, but most often 3.
Okay, that's
And Patrick is now on the final
potential
floor.
Potential for a 2-turn. Let's do this. Get ready.
Yeah, reviving Guy again in order to maximize
Curse
the
is
amount of targets Chaos could have.
Oh, 1 hit short.
So close, 1 extra round now.
Yeah, but this is guaranteed, basically. I think. Yeah, I'm gonna win this. So for only a few more seconds.
The animations are just slightly delayed, the inevitable here.
Fine.
And that is time for Team Mog.
And time.
253.
Yeah, that was still like a pretty solid run. You also had a lot of bad RNG, especially early on. Fortunately, Pandemonium wasn't too bad. And yeah, on Team Choco's side, Patoriku also on the Emperor fight
Oh,
now.
it is so close. Patrick having to take a quick reset. He was very, very close to finishing that off, but he got a very rude physical attack on Leon.
Yeah, there's just nothing you can do then.
Ooh. Thank you very much for having me. I'll be heading off. Thank you.
Thanks, Box, for offering input
Yeah.
on your run. We got 7 hits. We need to do 16 total hits with the Blood Sword with Leon to finish this off. We got 7 hits in, so we need 9 more. There's 6. Need 1 more to do 3 hits or more. Looking pretty good right here. And that should do it. Time, Chocobo.
Alright, and with that, I guess we'll hand it over to the amazing Final Fantasy IV crew.
Thank you, Nikki, and thank you so much to the Final Fantasy II crew. We
guys for having
are... Yeah, absolutely. My name's Natara. I am one of your 2 commentators for today. I am joined with the ever-wonderful Rivers McCown.
Hey.
And we are going to show you the beautiful nature and lovely everything of Final Fantasy IV today. As you saw, Yelzrek got started first on Team Mog. However, Couch and Vonivan are not far behind. And this game starts off with a 7-minute opening intro cutscene section. So we're not even going to get into the meat of the game for another little bit, even though there are going to be optimizations that they're working on, including step route right from the get-go.
Setting up a tent to set up a glitch. Pretty much all the major glitches in this run, except for one, happen in the first 10 minutes of this game. So be prepared to check out the clip over missed glitch for sure.
Yeah, we get a few glitches right away, early run, and they're like in a row, so it's pretty fun. Right now, what our runners are looking out for is, as mentioned, they are already on a step route. Before the game even started, they set a very specific encounter seed, seed 92, which, so long as they take one extra step in the castle, usually they're in Cecil's room, they will have no encounters from here until the first boss, which is going to save them a lot of time. They have about a leeway of, say, 12 to 14 steps if they walk a little unoptimally, but these runners, that is unlikely. Also going to want to be setting up their menus, making sure message speed, text speed is at its fastest. And as Rivers mentioned, picking up our tent, which without, we cannot do the first major glitch. Yeah, Couch getting it, is picking that up, and Yelzrek is in our first cutscene, minute and a half cutscene, like 5 minutes into the game.
It's a great break, except
Yeah.
for the fact that we continually reset to get C92, so it's it's not really something that a game that you want to try to run more than once per stream, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still nice to have that little break at the beginning. But then we're definitely gonna get pretty right into it. Vonnie quickly catching up. One of the things the runners are also going to have to manage and can really help, even in small increments, is their text mashing. In this game, our runners can use basically any of the buttons on their Super Nintendo controller to mash the text. And some of these buttons are more optimal than others. We'll talk about that a little later. Some soft lock potentials there. And they are
I use
also...
the Super Famicom controller. Is that a problem?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's not okay. You're going to have to reset and start again, please.
So yeah, bye.
Oh, yes, friends. Interesting question just coming up on Yelzrek's screen. Why do the monsters keep increasing? Could someone please answer this for us? We've been looking for the answer for so long, and we still haven't figured it out.
Would die to know the answer.
But yeah, you don't want to just mash quickly. You kind of want to get a rhythmic mashing for the text. It's interesting. So Yells is the first to leave Baron, and potentially two things. No, he's not getting the carrot. There's a chocobo forest just right here outside of Baron, which further ensures you get no encounters on this world's map. And is a lot faster for walking.
The chocobo is way faster, and it's taken a couple times along this route. Yeah, it's really nice to have that option. I don't think any of our runners today are doing carrot, I believe, so it might be just some trash cans.
Absolutely, yeah. There's an optional strat where you need the hidden carrot in that chocobo forest. We'll see if any of our runners actually do pick it up. But as you see, Yell's having a wonderful, chill stroll through this misty cave. And we're going to get right into it for the first boss fight of Mist Dragon. So there is a important sound cue here. So our runners are, if they're doing the basic strat that I know, are going to be trying to get 7 hits on the Mist Dragon before it changes to mist form. Then they will be waiting for a sound cue, which they will use to send Kane up into the air on his jump before we're told that it's safe to do so, to speed things up.
Yeah, you're looking to get crits here to speed up the fight, basically.
Absolutely.
It's very impossible to actually kill this thing before the mist phase. It would take like 5 crits, I think, or something like that. So nobody ever goes for that in a real run. You can skip one of Kane's attacks. That's kind of like the most optimized version early on to get more jumps in, and because you're already missing that anyway. And also, we're doing some inventory management here in Atar. Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. Inventory management in this run, especially in this category, is so incredibly important. Specifically here in this fight, they're setting it up in order to get an item duplication glitch and to start getting their inventory in the correct order, which not only makes menuing faster, but our inventory and where things are placed are absolutely critical for this run. So we're going to see a lot of inventory shuffling. So Yell's doing 2 glitches now. Putting that shield he had unequipped into the empty 5 weapon space. Don't worry, that's normal. In order to get a blank space with lots of hidden shields in it, which is our duplication glitch. And now he's working on the mist clip. If you interrupt a turn and use a tent outside of mist there, the game thinks you're 1 tile over than you are. And then if you interrupt again on the town and save and reset, if you've done it correctly, you can walk to the other side of mist and actually access these mid or like third way through the game items. You sell your empty stack of shields, you get lots of money, you buy dancing daggers, which are such a good item, and pick up a few things in Rydia's house here, and you're like, there's so much setup in this early part of the run.
Yeah, the tiara is kind of one of Rydia's like in-game armors, but basically because we're not leveling her at all in this on purpose, she needs that to survive Octomam in any real fashion. And with Dancing Dagger, our best character in the party, Dancing Dagger, Rydia is the only one who can use it right now in this party, so it's important for her to stay as alive as she can in Octomam.
Yeah, absolutely. And now that Yells has done everything that's required there, he can trigger the cutscene. We have Couch, who's currently in the Mist Dragon fight, setting up his item duplication glitch and getting Kane in the air. Vani is not very far behind at all, walking through the Mist Cave. So as long as you see no encounters, you know all of these runners set up their pre-game encounter seed correctly. Oh, excellent fight there for Couch. He's leaving.
I think a great question is why the Town of Mists is so big on purchasing iron and shadow shields.
Right? They know. They're so close to Baron. They know they've got a good market. So while Vani is going to be doing his turn at the Mist Dragon, we have that really important inventory management here in this Titan fight. We have some downtime through animations where we can't do anything else anyways. So, and they will progress whether we're in the menu or not. So it's a perfect time to start shuffling your menu around, getting some things in those ideal spots. So we're going to see all 3 of our runners taking advantage of that.
And as we come out of here, our runners are going to start trying to pick up their seed. Because we start on C92 all the time, we know how the encounters are going to go there. But then as we get to this part with the resets, it can be one of 256 different seeds. And if our runners can figure out which one they're on and do some step routing, they can save some encounters. So that's an early encounter for Yells there.
Oh, couple. This is, if nothing else, is going to make it fairly easy for him to figure out which seed he's on. That feels like a bad seed to me, but again, I'm not looking at the seed, the guide. And for those who are just joining us, Team Tomberry caught up from an amazing 20-minute time save in Final Fantasy II, which just happened. So, yeah, it's very helpful. Now, if you're in our chat right now, Rivers just posted our our knowledge base for Final Fantasy IV, run and hosted by the amazing Accident. It is where you can find the step routes for all the categories, resources, references, anything you need to start speedrunning this game. And its other versions as well are all hosted on that website. So please check it out. We have a really fun community and we're always happy to get more runners.
Yells is coming up into this officer-soldier fight. This is our first instance of run buffering. When our character pops up the can't run box that freezes the ATB for all the enemies. So you'll see in tight situations we go to this fairly often. You can do this fight if you get kind of the ideal agility setup from these other soldiers without taking a single hit. But Yale's got kind of a bad roll there. Still, pretty easy fight, and the buffers save a lot of time.
Yeah, you don't need the buffers. You can hold A and you'll just win this, no big. But it is definitely a time save. So, and when you have a run that is potentially sub 2 hours long, every little bit of time save helps, especially in a relay. Hey, Vonnie getting his items. Couch has finished blowing up a mountain, and it's Vonnie's turn. That mountain is having a very bad day. And Yells is going to do what I feel is one of the most important menus, which is not forgetting to equip our tiny child we have just found, as she has 30 HP. And without putting her in the back row and giving that later game item of the tiara, she is incredibly squishy. She can take a lot of damage very quickly, and is also a very important damage-dealing character, especially early game here for us. So we want to keep her alive and safe as long as possible. So, also important, talking to Rosa. If you forget to talk to Rosa there and continue on, you will get hard stopped by our next character, who will say, no, it's too dangerous, go back. And you're like, what do you mean go back? You're supposed to join my party. No, that's not what happens. You forgot to talk to Rosa. Please go back.
Yeah, it looks like both Couch and Yells had the same basic seed group there. It was 4 and a 9.
Nice.
Which is 177, 178 for narrow seeds, which are both kind of bad seeds. So maybe if Vonnie happens to get a better seed, he gets a little boost in catching up here.
Yeah, that would... There's so much that can affect that, but yeah, a good encounter seed definitely would. Yell's there, getting our next character, Tella the Sage. He is an interesting and incredibly community divisive character, Rivers, and so we're going to use him, hopefully, to great effect through this run.
Well, Tella has a problem where, because he is the only character in this run that comes with levels and is like semi-useful for half the game, everybody winds up hating him because he misses some spells. So if you run this game, you will learn that Tella is very important to the run, and also just whenever he feels like it, he's just going to forget to hit a spell. So, you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm. And hopefully, I'm not going to say the words I was going to say. Continuing on, our runners are going to do their best to run from the encounters. This safe room is usually, for most of our seeds, kind of the figuring out point, the last point to know what encounter seed you are on. If you haven't already figured it out by now, you should have had enough encounters to know. There are a couple of seeds called twin seeds, which look basically identical to this point, but I don't know if those have been worked out yet or not.
And Yells has posted his in the chat. He's on 165. So.
Oh, okay. So you can follow along. It'll, provided he takes the same steps each time, he'll get the encounters exactly when that says he will.
Right. So if you look at that chart as well, you can see where he's going to take extra steps. And the reason we take extra steps is because there are areas where you can increase the step counter without actually getting an encounter. And so you'll see Yell showing that off right here in the save point room, kind of pushing ahead his chart a little bit. So he'll skip some encounters and also maybe find some better encounters.
Yeah, if you're in a room with no encounters and the encounter chart says, hey, it's time for an encounter, nothing happens. It just continues on past. So, yeah, we definitely take advantage of that as much as possible.
And there's Couch dealing with a back attack, unfortunately. This is one of the major RNG points of this run. Any back attack you take adds on like 20, 25 seconds, which in a run with the optimal time to like 2 hours or lower, that matters a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, we don't have a consistent, easy for humans to execute back attack manipulation. It is one of those things the community occasionally plays around with and works on because it would be really excellent to have, but right now, it's completely up to RNG. Now, you're seeing Yells going out of his path in order to open that one chest. That darkness sword is going to be quite important because not only is the next boss weak to the element on that sword, it is the last sword that Cecil's gonna get for the next few fights. And you're even gonna see just before, like, he gets his next sword, how little damage Cecil is doing in some of the fights, even with this sword upgrade. So it is really not worth it to skip it at all.
Yeah, it's extremely important for Octomam alone. And then also, if you thought Cecil was weak before, let him run a Shadow Sword up against the Fool Gauntlet and be sad about that.
Yeah, it's not a good scene. Ooh, getting a strike first on Couch's screen. Not as good as just nothing, but better than back attack, certainly.
Yeah, just to chime in on the back attack manip stuff, it's like it's something that, like, if you have a lot of dedication, you can do if you know the seed that you're on. But it's very easy to knock off, basically.
Yeah.
Like any little fidget in whatever you do, that throws the entire thing off, and it makes it pretty difficult.
Okay, so next boss. This is Octomam. Pretty decent boss for early on. However, starting at the beginning of the battle, Octomam is the fastest boss in the game. But for every arm that Octomam loses, there's a speed reduction. So it takes 3 hits in order to get rid of the first arm, and 2 hits for every arm thereafter. Rydia is particularly important here, because as you can see, she can equip a dancing dagger. And when dancing daggers are used as an item, they do quite a lot of magic damage. So the fact it's magic damage will be relevant later, but you can see that she is basically completely out-damaging everyone. That 128 was a low roll for that dancing dagger.
Yeah, you can get to about 250 or so.
Exactly. So even with her in the back row with the tiara, though, it only takes 2 real good hits from Octomam, and she's down. So we want to hope that doesn't happen. Of course, Tella does have both life and cure too, so it is recoverable, but slow. So we don't want that.
And this is kind of how this is rolling off for Yell right now is actually pretty good. To have Rydia with 27 HP, like, about 7 or 8 rounds to the fight is pretty nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those asking in chat, this is a no CW run today, which stands for no credits warp, which we'll explain a little further after this run, or after this fight. So Yell's doing some inventory management. That good job message always happens at this time. So if you can time it, get your hits correct, you can access your menu during it. Again, saving time because you have to sit and wait during that anyways. And Yell's moved an unneeded item, which in this case was the Shadow Sword, down and brought up the trash can. Why would he bring up the trash can of all things, Rivers?
Well, there's an enemy towards the end of toward the midpoint of this run where we're just going to have the game glitch out and try to throw the trash can at it. So that's one of the hallmark glitches of FF4, and excited to see all 3 runners going for it.
Yeah, it's super fun, so definitely look forward to that, hopefully in about 30 minutes-ish. Okay, so Yell's getting through that quite well. Everything went as well as it can for that fight, so good news. It's now Couch's turn in order to do Octomam, and Vonnie not far behind, making his way through the cave.
It looks like Vonnie is on seed 238, by the way, which is a pretty good seed in comparison to the Couch and Yell's roll.
Oh, nice. That will definitely be helpful then.
So maybe a little catch-up time for Vonnie here.
And confirm I am on seed 238.
Good, thank you. Again, even though Yell's is inside, you see he's taking extra steps. One of the reasons for that is castles are kind of unique, is that if you are inside of a castle, meaning not the outside area, steps count. They still count. But they only count on certain tiles. Those little burn cracks on the floor, they don't count. Behind pillars, carpets, stairs, none of those count whatsoever for the steps. So you kind of have to know where. Also, Yell's doing some pausing here during this cutscene. Our in-game clock is going to be really important for the end of this run. So our runners are going to be pausing during battles, which again, move no matter what we do, generally speaking, in order to manipulate that in-game clock. So, depending on the routes that both Couch and Vonnie are doing, you may see them doing the same.
Oni!
Okay, both Vonnie and Couch in Octomam at the same time. That's real good news.
So far, our runners have been blessed with some pretty good Rydias.
Why would you say that?
I said so far! I said so far.
Like many speedrunners, we are a superstitious bunch, and this game is known to be occasionally punishing when you think you're getting away with it. It is such a fun game to speedrun, but like all of the games, it has its quirks.
So, Rydia, you've seen Rydia down to 20. Rydia can take up to 18 damage per hit from Octo at level 1 of the TR. So, like, it might look like, oh, well, she's taking some hits, but that's actually pretty good luck for all our runners so far.
Oh yeah, it's her being alive is great luck. We're totally happy as long as she's alive. Cecil down at 92? Yep. Cool, it means Rydia's not taking the hits.
Yep. And it's very rare that Cecil or Tella actually dies in this fight.
Yeah. And even if they do, as long as Rydia's up and alive, you can go with it. Okay, so Prince Edward has joined us as a bard. Yay!
That's a shame. He should have joined as a fighter. However, Prince Edward can use our best character in the game, Dancing Dagger. So he becomes immensely valuable in the speedrun. Whereas if you're just playing a casual game, he's by far and away the worst character in the entire game.
Absolutely, he's really bad casually. However, speedrun, he's real good. He's incredibly helpful to us, and we're happy to have him. I'm happy to have him. Ooh.
Yeah, he's great.
Couch had right path. Okay, so time for more spoons to be thrown for Couch. And Vonnie is through Octomam, so...
3 very good Octo fights as far as RNG.
Yeah, sure. That even though it is only the second boss of the game, it can still go so incredibly wrong and lose you up to a minute or 2, depending. So definitely don't want to risk that. So real good news for everyone. We like to see these things.
All of our runners are going to pass through this chest here in Antline as a life. This is called Safety Life Chest. Very good idea to pick it up at marathons. Can throw you off if you're like trying to manipulate at a higher level or something. But this is the only life potion we're going to have on this path for, the next 20, 30 minutes. We want to get lucky here, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Antlion in Casually is actually quite a hard fight because it counterattacks any physical attacks, and you don't have dancing daggers usually. But as we mentioned earlier, when used as an item, not only does it do a lot of damage, it counts as a magical attack. So Rydia and Edward are going to take care of this real quickly. 3-4 hits if we're unlucky, and we use Cecil's turns to shuffle some things around. And it ends up working very well. If you can get here with everyone alive, you have no fear of Antlion actually killing anybody. Unless you accidentally do a physical attack.
Or hit your own characters with a dancing dagger or something like that, yeah?
Yeah, you have to really badly mismenu. It is the easiest fight in this run. So Team Tomberry is passing our first split. They have defeated the Antlion, and looks like Vonnie's got to take a few steps there in Damsian. And
Boys be steppin'.
Boys be steppin'. And Couch's turn to pick up our friendly bard. Now, it may look like Yells is way ahead here, but Final Fantasy IV is a fairly both short and quick moving run, and there's a lot of moving pieces. So there are so many opportunities for people to either gain, like, save time or lose time in this run. So right now, things are turning up Yelzrek. However, the run ain't even close to being over. Especially as we say that, we get a surprise attack. So...
Way to go, Natara.
Yeah, listen, we gotta keep things exciting here.
Way to go, Natara. You did it.
I did it! Go me!
Yell's coming out of this cave looking like it's going to be close to 30-15 or so. This is a pretty good time.
Yeah.
Anything sub 30 in Antlion is pretty good. So this is,
absolutely.
In a marathon, just getting to see like this is a pretty good time.
Yeah, all the runners are doing incredibly well. Piloting that hovercraft as well can be a bit of a pain. If you're not used to it, it moves really quickly. But that's okay, we're doing well so far. Okay, it is now Couch's turn in Team Mog to fight Antlion. Hey, tossing those dancing daggers. Let's see if we get the 2 or the 3 dagger. Or sorry, the 3 or the 4 dagger. I wish it were only 2. That'd be fabulous.
Take those extra 6 seconds and run.
Yeah. So we got from defeating Antlion, we got the Sand Ruby, which was used to wake Rosa up. So we now have a White Mage, which is fabulous news. Okay, now it is Vonnie's turn in order to do the walk. Why don't you talk a bit about the Water Hag, Rivers?
So, the Water Hag has 75 million HP. No, it's like 43, I think, I forget. It's one of those memes in the community where we know what the real number is, but we just make it up all on the spot. Edward's going to have a whale of a time here just holding A, because the entire fight is you hold A, and because Dancing Dagger has accuracy and Edward's in the middle, pretty much always will hit, and Water Hag will relinquish some HP to the poor lad. In other versions of this game, where you're not so lucky, Edward will not come with a back row glitch. The harp doesn't, for whatever reason, count in Japanese versions. So, like, there are VODs out there where I'm thinking of the Catastrophic 4-1 in general, where our poor lad Edward will be just hanging out there in the back row, missing over and over again, and I've seen this fight drag on for like 2 minutes.
Don't we have a clip of it where we have a community member just hitting back and forth like miss?
That's exactly what I was talking about, Atar.
Exactly, like it's such a, you don't believe it's possible, and then you see the clip and you're like, how?
I'm gonna dig that up.
You really should. It's an excellent clip.
Back attacks haunting poor Vonnie here.
Yep. Sometimes it just be like that.
Alright, Water Hag is the real final boss, has been shared in the chat.
It's why we're all so glad we get to manipulate this. And probably also one of the reasons why we don't run a glitchless category of this.
People have been making some inroads on that. There have been some more glitchless categories pop up. Accident has been playing one fairly recently, so, I mean, it is something where you're probably better off playing the PSP version or the Japanese version, because it gives you more depth because of the JP items they took out of the American FF2 SNES. But you can play it, and it is kind of starting to pick up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, that's good to know. So here we go. one of the reasons we needed Rosa is because we're heading up. We are trying to save Fabul, one of the other countries, I guess, from having their crystal stolen. But there's an ice wall on our way to go and deliver this message, and the only person who can actually potentially cast fire is Rydia, who has been traumatized by her mom dying, followed by her town burning down. So, Rosa, in just either she is the best trauma counselor in existence, or makes really excellent cookies, convinces Rydia that no, fire is cool, and you melt the ice wall. She gets over her fear of fire, and she never uses it again.
Extremely kind back attack here for Yells. You get the surprise, didn't hit Rydia or Edward. And this is a real danger point for the run right here in this small segment. You can get a back attack and take a ton of damage, or have Rydia or Edward pass, which means you gotta spend some time living them and all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so now we have another one of our fights which has some randomness, but that we don't control. If you pay attention to the damage rolls on those imp captains, you can actually manipulate through pause buffering how many turns this is going to take. It is between 3 and 5 turns that Yang could take to defeat all of these imps. Oh, 4 turn for Yells. That's bad luck. So, you don't like to see that. You want a 3-turn one if possible. But as long as it's not a 5-turn, it could be worse. Okay, now Mom Bomb, our first actual scary fight. Things can go so incredibly wrong in this fight. Our HP values are low. There's a big explosion in the middle, which hurts everyone for a lot of damage. And speaking of low HPs, those are also our biggest damage dealers. So the strategy here is we're trying to do 800 HP damage to this first Mom Bomb form, mostly done in the form of Dancing Daggers from Rydia and Edward. We are going to send Yang on a kick about 1 second after the exploding message, which when after Mom Bomb explodes into 6 bombs, will time it correctly, so he will then attack all of those. We are looking for, ideally, the bomb where he did the most damage to an orange, so we can send Rosa to attack that one. If we don't get these 6 bombs killed in enough time, they will start exploding, and that really hurts our characters. You also see how low HP both Rydia and Edward were. If they are not full HP before that big explosion, they often don't make it, and for experience values and such levels for the next fight coming up, it's really quite important both for Edward to be alive and for everyone to be alive. But Edward most importantly.
Really nice dodge there from Edward. That really helped. There was a gray bomb from the back row, so he did have accuracy penalty there. But I mean, that was still you could still get hit there and lose Edward. So that was big. Yeah,
really big. That was an excellent fight. We have currently all of our runners on Mount Hobbs at the same time. Oh, encounter right before the end there. That's... Why would you do that game? Okay, time to see how many turns we have for Couch's fight. Ice Wall is down for Vani. And the long walk for Yells in order to get to Fabul. One of the longest and scariest walks in the game. Your HP is low after that Mom Bomb fight. And you have the potential for some nasty encounters on this overworld walk. So, hopefully,
it's not only the encounters themselves, but also just how many enemies are in them. And if you get back attack, it's very easy to lose 30 seconds on just one back attack here.
Mm-hmm. And yes, for those who are just joining us, Tom Berry closed the distance in Final Fantasy II. So definitely check out that VOD. It was an excellent showing. It was very good. Okay, Fabul. Fabul's fun. We're going to lose the 2 characters who have any sort of healing. We have, other than that 1 safety life potion, if anyone picked it up, that's the only healing we're going to have, and it is completely not helpful in this set of fights. We have a gauntlet of 6 encounters. Even though boss battle music is going to be playing, they are coded as random encounters. Why would I mention this? Well, you see, Edward, who is once again our main damage dealer, hides if he gets into critical HP and it is not a boss battle. So we need Edward to stay at a good HP level for all 6 fights so he can do the main amount of damage without hiding.
Slay, Edward, slay. Let's go.
You got this. We're also going to have some really important menus. We'll bring them up once we get there. Usually it's in the 4th fight, but we'll see when our runners do it.
First fight for Yells. Got both all 3 attacks off. Didn't take a single hit. Beautiful.
So nice. You love to see that. You love to see that. Okay, both our mom bombs here seem to be going well. Couch has a dead Rydia, but doesn't have a dead Edward. So that's still really good, because again, you miss out on some levels on Edward going into Fabul if you're dead at mom bomb, and you need that HP.
Clutch for Rosa. Clutch for Rosa there.
Listen, Rosa, she's fine. She's just having a bit of a rest. She's tired.
2 HP. She got it.
She's got that. That's one more than she needed. So, one of the things, you may have seen it earlier if you were watching, we talked about run buffering in the in-fight in Kaipo. However, we're going to be using that a lot in these fights. By trying to run in an unrunnable fight, it brings up a message where all ATB pauses. All the battle time pauses while it's up. During that, if you input any commands while that message is up, you kind of sneak ahead in the queue. And we're using that to get Edward to take some of these fighters out of the rotation, saving us some damage and some time.
Yell's Edward has dodged like 3 hits now between the last 4 or 5 fights. This guy just like refusing to go down.
This is great. I love it. You love to see it.
Can I give this Edward when I run this game?
You never get this Edward when you want this Edward. Okay, so this is the 4th fight. We're gonna get some menuing here because we only need 1 hit from Edward, but we have to set up an item duplication glitch during these fights. There are other opportunities during the gauntlet, but the 4th fight there is the best one, as neither Yang nor Cecil have anything they are required to do. So they're gonna want to get that set up. It is an incredible time loss to forget to do that or to miss it, so...
And we're seeing, while Yells has a great Edward, both his Yang and Cecil have been just really poor this entire side, and they've left both the Water Hag and the the Red Imp up a couple of times, I think now. Yeah,
this is why. This is the other reason why keeping that Shadow Sword is just not even an option. Even with that Darkness Sword, Cecil's just like, nah, Edward, can you handle this? I'm tired. Ooh.
This was a really successful duel for Yells, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And Couch is just starting his. Ooh, doing some pause buffering during. I like it. Okay, 1 more fight, technically. The 6 main fights are done, so the danger zone is gone for Yells. So, good job on getting through that. We do have 1 more encounter, however. It's our good friend Kane. Hi, Kane. How you doing? Where you been all this time?
So this fight actually can cost you a decent amount of time if you get bad RNG. Mm-hmm. You're trying to get Cecil down before gotcha, I think.
Ooh, we get extra text boxes for poor Yells. You had such a good Fabul and Kane ruined it. Actually, Cecil ruined it. That's fine.
Well, they both ruined it. They combined to ruin it.
Yeah. That's what happens. They're besties. They're working together. Okay, so now we have both Couch and Vonnie in our Fabul Gauntlet. So let's see how this goes. Again, Fabul Gauntlet, you can really add and lose times. Oh, sorry, Chad is telling us that Rivers ruined it. Thanks a lot.
Hey, you started it, so, I mean, just figured I'd keep it going.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and you. Okay, so we have our antagonist has finally shown up out of the shadows. This is Golbez, the new commander of the Red Wings. And he's going to take both the crystal, have a brainwashed Kane, and kidnap Rosa while he's at it, because he's a nice guy.
It seems like he's not related to anybody at all in this game, but
Nope.
maybe that'll turn out to be wrong. I don't know. I'm just speaking off the cuff here.
I'm sure I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, so we're 3 fights in for Couch. He's gonna do his stuff now. Must withdraw. Oh, this is so close. I love that they're all in Fabul at the same time. Also, Rydia, our 7-year-old, is showing herself to be the voice of reason and telling these 3 grown men, please, moping is not gonna save your friends. We gotta go. Please.
Ooh,
Also-
Yang with a crit for Vani.
Oh, that's good. We love that. Oh, we killed... Oh, did he run? I thought we killed them, but no, he ran away. This is so nice. Yells is in cutscene. All the cutscenes.
All 3 Edwards have held up really well so far, so that's great news. And really, what you're most worried about in Fabul is the first fight, getting Edward, down to 40 or 30. That hurts way more than it happens later.
Yes. Okay, getting the black sword for Cecil, and now we're going to do some menuing. That tiara we picked up in Kaipo, we want to keep that. And I'm sure nothing's going to happen to Rydia, but we're just going to borrow that for a bit. Completing the item duplication with Yang, so incredibly important that you both set it up during the Fabul Gauntlet and that you finish it before you attempt to get on the boat. You will lose so much time in this category in the no CW run if you do that. Or, if you miss that. So, don't. All I'm saying is just don't.
Do you have any experience with this, Natara?
No, I've definitely never messed up either of those steps. Ever. At all. Yeah, if you muck up setting up the glitch, you have to farm for a random encounter outside of Fabul.
I have good news, Natara. We're about to talk about who pushes who off the boat.
Oh, the great debate. So also, everyone say hi to Sheila, not named yet, but Yang's wife. We love her. She is great. And we have a really, really strong debate in the Final Fantasy IV community here. See, all of our friends are on a boat, and we're about to have an incident. I won't spoil it, for anyone who hasn't played this game in the 30 years it's been out. I don't judge. You should play it casually. PSP version's best casually. Real good. Anyways, bringing it back to the run. We need you. We're going to keep an eye out here. Was Yang pushed or did he jump? This is the question. Did Yang jump or was he pushed as a last act of evil defiance from a Dark Knight? Keep an eye out on the cutscene. However, both Couch and Bonnie are through the Fabul Gauntlet, so this is great. They, Team Mog and Choco are so close to each other, and neither of them are very far behind Tomberry either. Yes, also, sorry for anyone I just aged with that, time comparison. I feel you.
This actually is the oldest game in the marathon. 1, 2, and 3 are all remakes. So
bringing it back, 1991. There you go. Okay, this is where we're looking out. Jumped or pushed? Weigh in chat. I'm on team push. Just saying.
You're on team pushed?
I'm on team pushed always. Edward was real smart and was like, no, if I'm lying on the ground, you cannot push me over.
I'm out. My ankle hurts.
You can't do it. So it looks like Couch took the time to he equipped the black sword. I think Yells did too. I just missed it. They're making sure to equip that black sword now during that menu, because we're gonna get some. The encounters on Mount Ordeals are potentially incredibly rude, and having that black sword equipped now helps quite a bit to mitigate that.
So I think there's only actually one encounter the black sword really matters for runaways as like a back attack.
Okay.
But it's very important for the Mylon fight itself.
Absolutely.
You want him to be faster for those two fights.
Yeah. Now, Yells here is shopping. Anyone who's just joining us will notice that he has a lot of money. We did a glitch earlier in the game to get all that money. But now our menu, our shopping is so important because on top of the in-game timer, the in-game clock being really important to this category, so is our money count. You'll also see that stack of Black Square Box 4 Fire Claws. He sold 2 stacks of 70 from it. Also really important and really hard to tell if you've done it if you don't hear the noise. So don't mess that up either. Definitely have not done that one personally either.
Black Square 4, huh? That's just normal, right?
Yeah, that's
how the game
all.
Works.
That's how numbers work, Rivers.
All right. I'm here.
We're going. Okay, good. Math people, tell us what black box 4 means in math. In math, wow. Just leave that alone.
Clearly means squared.
Couch, you cracked the code.
Anyway, here's DK Cecil, who has done much wrong to the Mysidia community, being given custody of 2 5-year-olds.
It's literally the best conversation, because when you're stealing the crystal at the very beginning of the game, it's from Mysidia there, so they are very obviously, and very rightfully so, angry at Cecil. But he's like, I need to save the world, bad things are happening, please help me. And they're like, you killed a bunch of our people and stole our crystal, we're not helping you. And he's like, save the world please? And the elder's like, okay, let me make a deal with you. If you climb this tall mountain, which lots of people die on all the time, and come back as a paladin, we'll help you. And Cecil's like, we don't have time for this, we have to save the world. And the elder's like, no paladin? No help. And Cecil's like, fine, whatever, I'm alone, I need help, let's do it. And then the elder's like, oh, and take these 5-year-old twins with you. So I don't trust you enough to help you save the world, but I will give you these children. Who's the real villain in this game, chat? Who? It's the elder.
Wow. A lot being thrown on the elder there.
Listen. It's bad. The twins are great, don't get me wrong, I love them. And need my wind-up ones. Don't worry about it. And, but they're 5. They are canonically 5 years old. Ugh. But they're so good.
To be fair, it's probably like when the elder's looking at how Mysidia works, it's probably just like, am I gonna leave these guys at the bar? I guess the Dark Knight can take them. That's fine, right? Like that's a small downgrade, maybe.
Exactly. So we've got Couch doing his shopping, and he did different shopping than Yells. That's super interesting. So there's a couple of different routes you can take in this category. I run a completely different item route than these 3 runners. I run what's called 12 item, and they're all doing what's called 9 item, which is named about the setup, which, again, we'll explain once we get a little closer to the time. But the shopping that Yells and Couch did was different, so I'm curious to see what Vonnie's gonna do, because Yells learned this run from Vonnie. And claims
Yells
to be
picked up
doing
some more.
Oh yeah, no, he did.
Yells picked up the armor. So.
Yeah, and so did Vonnie. Oh, that's so great. Okay, cool. I love that. So, and Couch didn't. But again, I do not in any way believe that's a mistake. There are so many different ways you can set up what they are trying to set up. So that could just be the difference in the ways they do it. So you love to see it.
And look, Tella's back in Tara. You love him.
I love Tella. He's my favorite. Though again, this cutscene, because the twins make everything better, is fabulous. Because you're walking up this mountain which had fire in it, so you couldn't get up, and you find Tella coming back down the mountain. You're like, okay, weird, but you, Cecil, are talking to Tella, being like, hey, I have to become a paladin, and Tella's like, oh, hey, I'm here to get a super powerful spell because I'm too weak to defeat Golbez as is. And the two 5-year-olds are like, oh my god, do you see this celebrity here on this mountain? It is the Sage Tella, he's our hero! And Tella literally just looks at them and goes, right, children, adult time, and continues talking to Cecil. You're like, what? It's kind of glorious, I gotta say.
I'm going to sneak in real quick and say,
Yeah.
I believe that the Elder saw the end game and knew that Dark Knight Cecil couldn't throw the crystal, so he knew that Cecil had to actually do this mountain.
No, I'm on Team Bad Elder. You can see there's a lot of divisive opinions in this community. Come join us. Be part of the discussion. It's very important in game lore.
There's a lot of memes. That's all that happens.
We have a lot of fun in our community.
It's just memes.
Oh my god. Yeah, it is just
Always has been.
And they go to the moon too. Yeah, Chad is correct. I am on team everyone is evil. Spoilers.
Well, you know what they say. It's how you see yourself. You see everybody else in the world, right? So
I'm sure I have no idea what you're talking about. So, speaking of bosses and cool times happening, Yells has reached Mylon the First. This is where, if our team members were going to do it, they would implement the carrot strat. However, in a marathon setting, it's generally not what you want to do. So I think all of our runners are going to be using what is referred to as Twinstrat. So our twins come with the ability to use what's called Twin Cast, where they will use their turn together and do one of two magical attacks. Either Comet, which is better for more targets and costs more MP, or Flare, which is not what Yell's got, which is better for a singular target and costs only 10 MP. So it's ideal in this situation. However, Comet's still better than nothing. So they do some menuing to set up. In this case, giving that tiara we took from Rydia, putting it on Porum, and putting Porum in the middle position, which in Final Fantasy IV is the highest priority position. So whichever of the twins is sitting in the highest priority position is the one the game calculates the damage from. So by giving her the tiara and sticking her in the middle, it just makes their damage so much higher. While Cecil just kind of sits there and hit, and Tella hangs out.
The game should take it from the middle character. It feels like the game doesn't really know what it's doing with twin magic sometimes, like it's like some sort of dark art. But hey, Yells is through.
Yay! And now, blink and you'll miss it. We have one of the coolest fight mechanics in this game, called Trash Can. So it has a very specific setup. You're seeing he's rearranging people, sticking people in the back row. Let's just watch it the first time and then we'll explain it. Because we should see it 2 more times. Because this is...
I heard Couch is going for Carrot? What?
Oh, is he? Oh. We're going to keep an eye on that at the same time. Okay, so we're casting Ice 2 on Porum. Oh no! Never mind.
It was all a dream.
Yeah, the trash can dream is dead. Backups. Yeah, it is incredibly specific, the setup for that, and Palom is the most important part. So him dying right away in that timing was the best case, worst case scenario. If things are gonna go wrong, that's how and when you want them to, because everyone's still alive and doing well. However, it means we're back to pure 2 strats and hitting Mylon Z, which is gonna slow things down.
Good body hitting the 6 enemy back attack.
Oh, but Porum is... Oh, that's only good for Carrot. I was gonna be like, but Porum's dead, that's great news, but that's only good news for a Carrot setup.
Not for us.
No, yeah, no, this is, I don't think this is... I don't think this is Carrot. No, this isn't Carrot that Couch is doing. He's just doing Twinstrat.
Yeah, maybe
Carrot-
you know, from the carrot
Yeah.
at Mylon Z.
Yeah. Carrot is the same strat as Trash Can, just set up differently, but it has the same effect, which is we are going to toss items that are not meant to be tossed at a boss for incredibly great effect.
Yeah, basically the way it works is by interrupting the twin magic process by killing or incapacitating someone. You can use Stop, I think, or Charm they use in the tasks. Either way, if you charm or otherwise incapacitate one of the twins as twin is set to go off, the game glitches out. Palm starts looking for who else he can mimic, and through that method you're able to throw things, use items that you wouldn't normally use. And that's how we kind of trick the game into throwing the Trash Can at Mylon Z and the Carrot at Mylon. The setup for Carrot for Mylon is a lot more finicky. There's a lot more RNG in it. So it's something that you don't usually do unless you're like top runner going for best PBs.
Yeah, it's a PB strat, not a marathon strat.
So yeah, I'm not surprised we didn't see it here, but
Yeah. Okay, so we've got Trash Can Take 2. It also works because the way I think the item memory works, that's an incredibly rude encounter. Anyways, the way the items are stored in memory, when they're used in that manner, they tie... each of those items is tied to a different like ability or spell, and it just so happens that Trash Can I think is tied with White times 8, and I think Carrot is Fire, or is it opposite? Is Trash Can Fire 3 or is it Holy?
I can never remember.
No, I think Trash Can is Holy because Holy doesn't work on Mylon, only Mylon Z. Okay, so good. We're stopping Cecil. Oh, this all looks good. Oh, I think we got it. Watch Couch's screen,
We got
friends.
it.
We got it. Oh, we got it. Toss that Carrot. 5,600 damage. Because again,
Be a nerd.
it's Fire 3 times 8. Now, Yells has become a paladin mostly. He is fighting a Dark Knight, which is the representation of his inner pushing Yang off the side of a boat self. And now that Cecil is a paladin, he can equip a dancing dagger, which we're once again going to abuse. So between 3 and 5 dancing dagger throws, 5 is only if we're real unlucky, and we can just kill the Dark Knight outright, because in the US version of this game only, Dark Knight only has like 1,200 damage. So
Yeah, that's 1,000 HP. They lowered his
It's 1,000,
HP
yeah.
from the JP version. I think perhaps thinking that Americans wouldn't understand the mechanic of the fight was that you're supposed to actually not fight the thing.
yeah, exactly. So they lowered it just in case, even though it's still regularly really hard to do that. But yeah, so with your dancing daggers, which you're not supposed to do, it's incredibly easy. Nobody wants to see the text of shame, because the voice in the cave likes to talk a lot. Like many NPCs, and we ain't got time for that. We've got plot. We've got the world to save. We can't listen to people talking. And Tella's learned
Alright,
media.
Stop off. Looks like Vonnie's on track here.
Ooh, good news. Oh, I love those bars. So you're gonna see some weird bars on Yells' screen. Those are intended. Also, Vonnie succeeding on the Trash Can. So all of our runners, once they become paladins, have to do another one of the very, very incredibly weird steps to set up this category, which is getting a chocobo and making sure it leaves on the correct side of the screen. These bars are our danger zones. They are absolutely permitted as part of the FF4 community. You do not have to memorize it. They are allowed. Yells in Team Tomberry Solidarity customized them into Tomberry, so please appreciate his effort. He did that. They're usually red bars, like you see on the side of Couch's screen. Okay, I've got another paladin. And so, what we're looking for here, when he gets rid of his chocobo, it needs to, the very top pixel of that chocobo's head needs to not be in any of those Tomberry or red sections for the other players. If it so much as touches it, he will have to get another yellow chocobo later on and do it again. and keep doing it until he has a safe chocobo. So the grid is up, so it's easy for everybody to see whether it's a good one or not. Ooh, extra step. Yeah, those the Tomberry bars are for our chocobo. We're gonna get to see it in action shortly. So and again, once again, Yelzrak. Oh no, I thought he was doing a setup. I'm foolish and got confused for a second. If you are not on a step route, there's actually a manipulation you can do, which I do all the time, to make sure your chocobo is always guaranteed. However, as you have to reset your console, you will lose your step route. So none of these runners are going to do that.
Looks like a great chocobo. Right
Good.
down the middle.
That was just straight up in the empty space. So that was a great bird.
Yells goes up 3-0.
Yep. Okay, so you see Vani's got his bars up. Couch already has his bars up, but they're off the screen a little. So we may never see his. But yeah, the red bars, they're one of the resources included on the knowledge base. So you can download them, you just stick them right over your screen in OBS, and it's very helpful.
I'm kind of getting Mylon Z's help in missing trash can. Race tightened up a little bit here too.
It really has. Like, it is so close right now. This is fabulous. And again, there's still so many of those kind of catch points where just a little thing going wrong, a couple minutes here or there, especially with how close all the teams are, it's nothing.
They're just a entire Mysidia legend away.
Couch is manipulating it.
Yeah.
Oh, that is very interesting because he just lost his step route. So the way that the guaranteed chocobo manipulation works is you save one step outside of that chocobo forest. You reset your game, which just resets your seed and everything, but it puts the chocobos at a defined place. So you go in, you step in a very specific spot, and press A to take the chocobo just as it's moving back up. And you are guaranteed it will always leave in the same spot on the screen, which is really great. Can they get back on step route easily? The answer in almost all cases is no. Do you need step route in order to do well in this game? Also no. The step route is completely optional. So for anyone who is scared about step routes, hi, I can't keep on a step route whatsoever. You don't need to use it. However, it's a lot more uncertainty. Things can go very wrong, and you're more likely to have things you can anticipate and plan around with the step route. So is it a great idea? Yes. Is it necessary? Absolutely not. No, this category does not use the grind fight, which is one of the things that step route really helps for. However, you can find that grind fight again without a step route, which is what I do when I run that category. Because again, I am not very precise, so I lose step route. Usually if I can keep it to Mount Ordeals, I'm having a good run. So there are options all over the place for that.
Baron NPCs were very unkind to Yells.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
I think Vani's was good. It looked good. It was like right on the edge, but I think it was above there.
As long as that 1 pixel is above.
It was super borderline, but I'm pretty sure it's good.
Okay.
I was going to say, if I'm on Team Chocobo and I got betrayed by that, that would be just the ultimate disappointment.
That really would have been terrible. Oh my gosh. Beautiful.
And we were talking about something else. We missed talking about this Yang rejoining fight. Yang got brainwashed. Cecil hit him once, and he said, "Ouch." The end.
Yeah. All you need to do is hit him with Cecil once. Cecil doesn't even have to hit. Cecil can miss. It still activates the plot trigger. You just have to attack after the second kick. So it's fine. You want to kill those 2 guards as quickly as possible, and using the dancing daggers is the way to do it. However, they can just one-shot Palom because Palom has 135 HP. So, you're welcome, Couch. I did that for you. So you have to kill him another way.
That's the second Palom claimed in this fight, by the way.
Let's see if we can get 3 for 3. Listen, I only commentary cursed one of them. Yells's was all on him.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about the shopping that Yell's gonna do here.
Oh, I love shopping. I don't know that I love this shopping. So, the armor, not such a big deal. You get that the same every time, except we're going to be buying some interesting things here. We just bought 13 Cure Staves, 58 Fire Claws, and Ice Claws, and then 56 Fire Claws again. Don't worry about it. Apparently that was an extra stack, I see. Why are we buying stacks of random number items? Why are we doing it?
Well, because obviously we feel guilty about, getting all those Shadow Shields and Iron Shields sold. So we're just trying to reinvest it into the economy.
God, we're such good people. Look at us. We care about the economy of these towns. Never say we don't.
Although it would make more sense to give it to Mist, wouldn't it? But we're not there. So
Mist is gone. It's too late for Mist. So instead, yeah. Also, I would like to note, Couch got not 1, but 2 ghost NPCs. I feel like that is such a good sign. The way auto-walking cutscenes work is it freezes the NPCs where they are. But they don't want to soft like you, like certain FF6 games like to do on occasion. So, they make it so you just walk through any NPCs. And that little girl there is one that very often, we call her Ghost Girl, because very often we will just walk right through her. But the way that one of the other NPCs froze, Couch walked through 2 of them. So I feel like that's a great sign. So all you Team Mog fans, that's your sign, friends. That's your sign.
So Yell's showing off the back attack, surprise attack odds that go way, way up with Cecil level 1, and also for these next 3 or 4 dungeons, back attacks become really unbearable in this part of the game. Very easy to be ahead at Paladin, and then you just catch 2 back attacks up here, or 2 back attacks in Cave Magnus, or Zot, and then all of a sudden, you're behind.
Yeah, exactly.
Just want to point out I'm on Team Double Ghost as well.
Yeah, chat just said that. Congratulations! Wow, this is unheard of. We're making history here.
And Couch showing off the dangers of resetting mid-run, getting 2 encounters like one step after the other. So
yeah. Again, totally doable, and this doesn't mean he is going to do poorly at all. He could still be on a really good seed, but he's not manipulating it anymore. He's just leaving it to the RNG gods. Okay, so we have taken the back right way, and we have come into Baron, because, weirdly, they don't want to let us in anymore after firing us and attempting to kill us a few times.
I don't get it.
No, I don't get it either. So, but don't worry. We have a party consisting of a paladin, a really powerful karate monk, 2 5-year-old children, and an old guy who has only 90 HP. So we're fine.
The good news is that he's about to have Boomerang 6 HP, right?
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Boomerang?
Yeah.
Boomerang?
Yeah. Boomerang.
Weird. There's boomerangs in this game? That's cool.
As you once told me, Natara, it's just numbers, right? So
it's just
how number works.
Math. Yeah, mathematicians in here. We would also like you to define Boomerang 6. Wait, that's not Boomerang.
It's underscore 98. Yeah.
You lied to me.
Well,
I wonder why he got underscore 98 rather than our usual Boomerang 6.
I revived Palom.
Oh, that would do it. So no, that is not negative. We have underflowed, so that is way more than 90 MP. We like telling the game that its numbers are lies and we want bigger numbers, and it goes, maybe I won't display it the way you want, and we go, that's cool fam, just give us more numbers, and it goes, cool, we have a deal. And so, there we go, there's Boomerang 6 on couches. So how it works is we try and use a spell we don't have enough MP for. but I believe it's a 1-frame window. We jump to a spell we do have enough MP for, or no, we do it the opposite. We try and use a spell that we've got MP for, quickly jump to one we don't. So we try and use Cure 4, which with like 1 MP, and the game goes, well, what direction do I go? And apparently when you go below 1, you actually end up in the like 60,000s. So, good news. We've got Medio.
Remember when media was supposed to be like a thing that only was cast once? Well, guess what? You're going to see it a couple times.
Yeah, listen, Medio's fine. Whoever was saying to Tella that he could not use Medio was a hater, and Tella can do anything he wants. Listen,
And
Tella...
look, we're one bacon apart now.
Oh, one bacon apart. This is real great.
From Mog and Tomberry.
This is so good. Yeah, let me be clear on my opinion on Tella. Tella is very excellent at what he does well, and the things that literally cannot miss, which Medio is one of. Anything which has any sort of RNG involved, this is where we stop liking Tella so much. So now that
let me jump in and talk about this
please.
too. So you're going to see a lot of our characters here get killed off.
Yes.
Basically, what we're doing here, Kane needs to get to level 19 for Valvolus to be kind of optimal for the speedrun.
Mm-hmm.
And because if characters are dead, they don't get experience, and that experience pools into 1. And Kane is in the Shadow Party, so he always gets just the experience amount on the screen. What we're doing is manipulating it so that Kane will get more experience.
Yeah, really super incredibly important. We don't need the poor twins for reasons which will become clear very shortly after this fight. So now that we have fought...
spoilers!
You spoiled it. Whatever. Wow, Tella did well. Speaking of RNG, even with equipping that change rod on Tella, which is supposed to help his damage a lot, he can still really lowball that roll. Thankfully, he did not. We used Lit 3, one-shot Kainazo, and everything is delightful. Hopefully that continues to be the case.
Yeah, this is another one of the Tella RNG points of the game, where if Tella rolls low on Lit 3, you can lose like 30 seconds here for no reason.
Yeah, exactly. It is, super fun. But don't worry, we now have 6 members for our 5-member party, and I'm sure nothing will go wrong.
No chance.
No chance. My god, Porm's alive. Why is Porm alive? Who said that was allowed? Okay, good. They fixed it. Okay, good. Getting through Baigen real easy there for Vani. Excellent Lit 3 roll for Couch. Everything's coming up FF4. This is fabulous. I love it.
These blessed runs. Wow.
Wow.
I'm sure that'll stay that way too.
Mm-hmm.
That's how
Nothing
FF4
ever
works.
goes wrong. Nothing ever goes wrong in FF4.
Natara, you mentioned this earlier, but do you want to talk about why you wouldn't want to mash X in this cutscene?
Oh, do I ever. So, to kind of just backtrack a tiny bit, in Final Fantasy IV, you can mash basically any button on your controller to progress the text, which is really useful for customizability and just whatever your comfort level is for mashing. You've got a controller with a bad B button, mash the Y button. Stuff like that. However, the X button is also the menu button for Final Fantasy IV. If you mash with the X button, there are a couple of points in this game where the game will suddenly go, oh hey, right, I'm supposed to bring up the menu here. So you mistime it, you try and bring up the menu at a time when the menu really shouldn't be up, and you soft lock your game. So, the kind of hard rule is, it should be don't mash with X, but it's actually, you can mash with X if you want to, but at these very specific cutscenes, do not mash with X, and we're coming up on one of those right now. Do not. Just do not.
Yeah, this is specifically when the airship goes up, I think is the actual point here. So
It is, yeah.
When that airship goes up, if you're mashing X, you will soft lock.
Yeah.
Like 100%. Not like maybe soft lock. No, 100% you will soft lock.
Yeah, you will soft
do
lock. Yeah, it's great that there's very few soft lock points in this game, and most of them are incredibly predictable and 100% avoidable. So we just make sure everyone knows where to avoid those points, and if they choose not to do it, well, that, sometimes you gotta play with fire.
Listen, everybody is in the same cutscene, and we're 50 hours into this marathon.
This is so good. This is so good.
This is
Also,
real nice.
Also, last chance to say goodbye to the best twins ever. Second best twins ever.
Mac and cheese.
In Final Fantasy. Yeah, mac and cheese. Our favorites. It's a very common meme name whenever there's naming bid wars for Palom and Porum, and it's delightful.
Yeah, that was from the original, I want to say, Brosensha ran this 2011? 2012, one of those GDQs, like very early GDQ era.
Yeah,
this was a very popular run, and he named the mac and cheese, so that kind of has stayed on for over the years. 2013, there you go. Yeah.
Yes, Alphino and Alice are the best twins in Final Fantasy. Fight me. Anyways, so we have lost. Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Fun. We'll meet after the run. Okay. Rivers Natara fight. Go.
Right.
So last set of twins. Goodbye. We love you. You were excellent, but now you're holding a wall for us, so that's super helpful. Yes. So we have 2 not soft locks. Okay. Let's see if we get a swag landing. See if we get a swag. Oh, there's no swag landing.
Low. Yeah.
But it was still a good landing. So there is literally 1 square on the map you can park on in right outside of Toria here. And it is so hard. If you don't get right on it, the adjustment is just so annoying. So you can actually just fly. We know the ways to fly and just park right on it, and it looks so good. It's our swag landing. But Yell's still got basically second best, whereas just 1 quick adjustment in. And hey, we found Edward. So we have found 3 of the 4 folks who were on that boat with us. We found them. And he's doing good. He's having a nap.
His foot hurts, but that's good because we don't want him in the party anyway.
Oh, whoa, rude.
Well, at this point, the dagger is kind of outclassed.
Landing. Couch swag landed. Look at that. So nice.
Nice.
Now, the next thing our runners are going to have to do is, they're going to have to catch a black chocobo. And they like to run around because the room is real big. So there is actually a way that you can watch the movement of the frogs in Toroya in order to know where the black chocobo is going to be. I do not know the specifics because I can barely walk in a straight line in this game, so I definitely don't pay attention to where the frogs are. But
basically you're reading the NPC values of a couple things, and then from there you have, I think, like an 80% chance that you'll actually be able to read the black chocobo. So we call this chocobo whispering. If somebody does it here, it's very laud-worthy. It's really cool. Black chocobos are really hard to catch without
it. As you can see. And what makes this even more scary is all 3 of our runners have set up successful yellow chocobos, which is critically important for this run. However, that gets reset if they ever pick up another yellow chocobo, because it looks at the value of the last yellow chocobo to leave the screen. So if they accidentally grab a yellow chocobo, they have to bring their bars up again. And
why would you even say that could happen, Natara? Why would you even say that could happen?
Because I'm a monster who wants entertainment for these lovely viewers. This relay is so close, and I want chaos.
Always on Team Chaos.
Always Team Chaos. Which is why Final Fantasy 1 is so good. Wait. Gotta go.
What?
Bad Final Fantasy jokes with your host, Natara. Okay, so we got a really quick chocobo for a couch there. The black chocobos are required because the only way there's no parking spot for our airship next to Cave Magnus, which is unfortunate. You have to get that flying black chocobo, which can only land in forests. The mechanic of this place is that it is a magnetized cave, so any characters who are wearing metal armor will be paralyzed because they can't move. However,
we're going to take advantage of that.
We are taking advantage of that. Currently, you don't see it, but the only character in everyone's party who's in Cave Magnus who is not paralyzed is Sid, because everyone still has metal armor on or is lying on the ground. And Sid comes equipped with a wooden hammer and a prisoner robe. So he is just by default not wearing anything. So, not wearing anything metal. Natara, please. Now, it gets really scary in here because they have to run away from everything. Fighting is just not an option, and certain of the encounters are just bad. They can be really bad. So we're keeping an eye on Sid. Sid is our really important character here. He is carrying us.
Right, and we're gonna go slap the iron glove that we got from Kane way back at the beginning of the game right on him to enter this fight. Normally, this is a cutscene fight where the Dark Elf kind of just punks you around with a bunch of spells for a while.
And
now,
no. Yeah, no.
and with that, the fight just ends instantly. Saving time.
Yeah, we don't watch cutscenes. We don't do a fight. We can't win. We just die, and it's excellent. That is what we want. So yeah, that glove. It is such a time loss if you forget that iron glove and get to that fight. Definitely not saying from experience. Yes, and put your guesses in chat for what the harp song is going to be. See what it is this week.
It can be different?
No. So, funny story. In the randomizer for this, Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise, programmed by Boardface, they randomized the harp song. He has also created a patch called the Quality of Life patch, which adds a bunch of the features from Free Enterprise into the vanilla game, and that's the main version I run. And I literally asked him, hey, can you put a randomized harp song in here too? And he went, yes, but no, because any instance of this track will be changed to that different song. And so you could be rocking out at, like, the Water Hag fight. So he decided not to implement that, and I don't know about all y'all, but I was disappointed.
I've never heard of this randomizer before. Anyway,
Yeah,
the Dark
me
Elf, you got Legend Sword for Cecil. That's like a quad week for Dark Elf, so that's what's going to be mainly carving this up. We want Sid to die here. And once we get to the second phase of the fight, Dark Elf becomes vulnerable to status effects, and we're just going to use that to cheese him up with weak.
Absolutely. Also, poor Sid, for carrying our party through Cave Magnus, gets to have a nap now. So that's really nice. Oh, what a good fight. Get that week off. Nice. Really good Dark Elf fight there. Now we're... Couch is about to go in, and Vani is not far behind.
Yeah, again, this race is... 50 hours in, and within like the cutscene and a boss fight of each other.
Yeah. Also, piece of advice: don't forget to pick up that crystal. You can just walk right on out. And it's kind of a rite of passage when you speedrun Final Fantasy IV to do it at least once. You'll never do it again.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never done that before.
Yeah. I'm sure you haven't.
The entire last 2 months of preparation for this event have been many examples of, well, I'll never do that again.
Yeah. So you're going to see Yells here is back in the Chocobo Forest, and while getting a Chocobo and running back is faster, that's not the reason we are picking it up. He's parking it in a very weird spot. He literally just went and found a Chocobo to leave it alone in a forest. Which seems, normal for Final Fantasy IV. So, I'm sure there's no reason we did that, and it's completely just, there for lulz.
Yeah, I mean, it's precise step routing is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
You need those 8 steps exactly on any seed ever made. It's just always because of that, yeah.
Yeah, we purposely have the step routes for those extra 8 steps just 'cause.
I think it's more than 8 steps, actually. But
it's definitely more than 8 steps.
This is just me self-criticizing. Don't worry.
This category, the no credits warp category, has a lot of little tiny setups that need to be done, or the run is dead. And that is one of them. So we'll go through all of them as they become relevant, because they all become relevant at basically the same time.
So plot-wise here, basically what happened was we got the airship. Kane came and was like, hey, we've got Rosa. Do you want to get a Surf Crystal? And we were like, fine. And now there's like come meet us at this tower. It's definitely not a trap. And we're like, sure, that sounds great.
It makes sense. Also, a couch had a really nice dance with that black chocobo. And by nice, I mean unfortunate.
Hey, he didn't pick up the other chocobo, though, right? That's the important thing, right?
That's what I mean. Exactly. He got the correct chocobo, parked it where he needed to, and they had a lovely time doing it. Yeah, that black chocobo dance was fabulous. Okay.
You're gonna see Yells take a trap chest here. This is one fight that's like you don't really see us pick up chests on this route. This is very important. This is a chest with a fire sword in it. Fire sword is a Golbez weakness, and also does extra damage in both Valvolus and the dolls. So it's extremely important to the point where even though this is, a solid minute out of the way, you gotta pick it up.
Oh, you really do. And not even just for this fight. There's future fights where that fire sword just help with damage so much. It's just, if it ever looks like we're going out of our way to do something, it's because it is either so important or actually faster to do it that way, which is basically all of speedrunning, let's be clear. And Flame Dog can actually be really rude. This is definitely a fight I've died to many times. And it hurts every time. Because on top of, you're getting back attacks and mean encounters here. And so, I just kind of do the extra healing and make sure I have, Tella, Cecil, and Yang up. Yell's had Cecil cover Tella even, which means he'll take the physical hits for him. And you just need it all just to get that fire sword. And it's so worth it.
Yeah, we did a half dupe there too, so we ended up with 2 fire swords. We'll eventually have both Kane and Cecil using one, depending on where kind of the runners feel comfortable. Usually it's just for Golbez, but you can set up a back row glitch early to make, you save 3 seconds, 1.5 seconds of swing on just attacking versus dancing daggers. So you can do that earlier. I would be surprised if we saw that here, but yeah.
Ooh. MP underflowing Tella early. Oh, doing it before Flame Dog. Fascinating. Usually the spot to do it is just before the next boss, the Mega Sisters.
Yeah, the Mega Sisters is a fight that casually, I don't know about you, Natara, but when I was 11-year-old Rivers renting games from Blockbuster, this was always the battle that was my nightmare.
Same, except I think we both dated ourselves. But yeah, it was definitely, it's such a rude fight, and it's these are the strats. You kill this one first, and then you kill that one, but don't kill this one, and don't use these. There's so much strategy to it. But I wish I knew how to do the fight this way that's coming up. Back then.
I was gonna say it was extremely difficult. If you look at playing a glitchless, you have to time slows and time reflect lit 3s or whatever, or you could just underflow it and use Medio.
I'm sure I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, then
I would never use Medio.
Let Yells show you.
Yeah. Let me show you how. And this is where we're gonna see. Oh my god! It looked for a second like he covered Sid. It's like Sid's dead. You can't save him.
Yeah, there's a little bit of cursor lag in this game, for sure.
Yeah, there absolutely is. It's why it can be so difficult to optimally menu because of the cursor lag. You just kind of have to know how it works. So yeah, they're trying to do their triple attacks, they're setting up walls, they're physically punching. The Mega Sisters they're intense. But that's okay. We got Medio.
And now they're gone.
Yeah, now they're good.
So I've heard a rumor that Tella can only cast Medio 3 times before he's gone forever.
What, 3? I heard it was only once, and he's already proven that wrong, so obviously he can cast it as many times as he wants.
Oh, okay, cool. So, yeah. I mean, we're setting up for the next boss here. I mean, Valvolus is pretty difficult, but I mean...
Very difficult, yeah.
Medio can help out a lot.
Medio will totally help us out for Val.
Oh, come on, Tella, come on. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Come on.
Tella would never be mad. He doesn't know what the emotion means.
And Natara's favorite character is going to go berserk at Golbez.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah.
Story-wise, FF4 has this tendency of somebody, going away, and you're like, oh no, he's lost forever, and they just come back. Not here.
No, if you see any character do what we like to lovingly refer to as the double dragon blink, they gone for reals.
He gone.
Medio? No, don't! I love seeing the text. You get the way the older games used to be like, let's do cutscenes by just a text box in a fight, and it's so iconic in a way that just doesn't happen anymore. And it's, I just love it. I just love it. Oh, Medio! Well, that's fine. Medio's really useful, and he's really good at that spell, so we should be fine. Right?
Sure, of course.
Right?
I do miss Golbez's No Way, which in my head canon he always says, no why?
No, why? Oh no, he used Medio. He shouldn't have done that.
How could he know that 3 times was the charm?
I think everyone knows that. Oh, there's the Medio for Coucher. Good, good, very well done. Good news for everyone.
Yeah, it's looking like we'll have all 3 runners in this elongated Golbez Kane cutscene at the same time here.
That's really good, yeah, because Vani's going into the Mega Sisters just as Couch is leaving, so good news. So Golbez was gonna try and kill Cecil and then looked at him and went, maybe I won't, and left. And you're like, what? So yeah, Tella couldn't cut it. Casting it against Baigen was fine. Casting Medio against the Mega Sisters was fine, but Golbez was just one too far. So everyone say goodbye to our favorite in quotations, Sage, Tella. He is gone for realsies.
I wish you were around for the dolls, Tella. I really do.
I really do. Okay,
well, the good news is that we have Kane now, and Kane
and he's not brainwashed.
For now.
For now. Yeah, he is not brainwashed. Everything's good. Also, in very interesting, and I'm not unsure I understand the logic, localization changes. That bowling ball was actually like a guillotine in the Japanese version of this game. So if you've played other versions, you've probably seen it as a guillotine, not as a bowling ball. Because Square US apparently thought crush damage was safer and less gruesome than whatever the guillotine would have done. So we don't question this, and we just know that Rosa was saved from a bowling ball. Quite successful.
I've heard from Yelzarek that it's actually a marble.
Oh, marble! Oh, okay, that would do it. That explains it. But marbles are dangerous. I've seen the games that Yells run. I wouldn't mess with a marble.
They're scary.
Yeah.
So here we're going to take advantage of Cecil's being a paladin now, has the cover thing.
Oh no! Oh no! Yells has a level 18 Kane. This isn't a fake oh no, friends. This is an actual oh no. We're looking for a level 19 Kane in order to... It incredibly changes the fight and the speed of how often Kane gets turns, and it just truly transforms this fight. So this has become a lot more dangerous for Yells. We do have strategies of how to handle it with a level 18 Kane, but it's going to be more difficult for him. So we could definitely lose some time here for Team Tomberry.
The way that the Valvalus fight works when everything's going well is that it looks like you're dancing almost, like it's beautiful in rhythm, all that stuff.
Yeah. It's so good.
This is a little bit harder from a level 18 Kane because you won't get the same damage. Although a very nice roll there. Basically, what you're looking for is 500 plus in the tornado phase, and Yells did get that on that jump.
So that's really good. Also, one of the strategies in this fight, you see we've got Rosa at 3 HP and we're not even trying to cure her. All of the sort of damage that Val is doing is physical, all of which can be blocked by Cecil, which he will do automatically to any character who is in a critical HP state. So, the only character we are going to bother to heal in this fight is going to be Cecil. So he can just keep covering and keep soaking that damage while tossing his dancing daggers and doing a real good job.
And the only real problem with this is what happens when Weak happens to hit Cecil. Ooh,
Yeah,
and this is not great either.
Yeah, because Val likes to petrify folks, but she has to hit them a few times to get fully petrified. As long as you're not fully petrified, you can still continue on as if you were normal. However, Kane is our big damage dealer in this fight, and, oh gosh, even more importantly, gets her out of that spin. The jump is the only way to get her out, and we do not have enough accuracy to damage her while she is in the spin. Also, Cecil getting weaked, for the exact reasons I mentioned earlier, are very bad. So, this fight is not going well for Yells, luck-wise. He's still got this, though. Like, he is recovering so well, but the RNG is not in his favor right now.
And Couch is just about to start this fight, so we're gonna have Mog and Tomberry in the fight at the same time.
Oh, that's good news. And Vonnie's not far out either. Oh, Kane getting okay. You're doing well. Good. I gotta say, Yell's recovered much nicer than I would have. Very well done. So it's, looking at the HP, I believe that Couch's Kane is at level 19. So you're going to see a little bit of a difference in the fight flow, as it were. Again, the way the rhythm just works for this fight is just so beautiful. It is really nice.
Yeah, basically every time you have somebody doing an action, you're also setting up something new, and then like it's like a dance when it's all clicking and it really looks good, and when it falls off, it looks really bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And Vonnie entering the fight as well, so we have all three runners in at the same time. But Yells has recovered so well and has defeated Val Valis, so really great job there. This is such a scary fight. HP values are low, damage is not as high as you'd potentially want. There's so much which can go wrong, as you saw there with Yells, and handled just so beautifully. So well done for Yells, but Couch and Vonnie are right on his heels, so this could go any way at this point, truly.
50-35 in, and everybody was in the boss fight at the same time.
Yep. Oh, I love it. I love it.
This marathon has some spice this year.
Oh, so much spice. Okay, let's see. While we're going through a whole chunk of cutscenes here with Yells, let's keep an eye on these Val fights for both Team Mog and Team Choco. See if one of our runners pulls through ahead of the other. But if you throw a dancing dagger at Val while she's in the tornado form, one of the daggers will just stick there. It'll just stay there, and you're like, what? So Team Mug has finished.
Nice. The 64 damage Sid kill.
Oh, so good.
Yeah,
while in the tornado, like that's so nice.
So we got a magma key out of that fight from Kane, who was just like, yeah, Golbez gave this to me, I don't know. I don't ask questions, man, I'm just brainwashed all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure I have no idea how this got in my pocket, but everything's fine.
And we're gonna go drop that down a well, because that's just, that's what I do every time I get a key.
Yeah, sure. It explains why I couldn't get in my house last night, but we managed.
You opened the window, right? That's all that matters.
Shh, don't tell people how to get in my house. Okay, so Bonnie almost done here. More cutscenes. So yeah, we're dropping a key down a well. I love the noise it makes. You'll hear it when Couch does it. I've got the sound up for all three, or I've got Yells' sound up so I can hear the best noise ever.
Well, that's gone.
Yeah, bye forever. Yeah, well, that's gone. Ooh, things getting a little rough on Bonnie's side, but never mind, because we had a 1300 hit from Kane. Beautiful. Beautiful.
We're through. Natar, how do you feel about counting?
We have discussed on many occasions, Rivers, my feelings on math. And it's that math is bad. However, counting isn't math, so I love counting. This is actually the category I run the most, and it's a good thing I don't mind counting because, gosh golly, our runners are about to do a bunch of it. Hopefully chat can count with us. We are going to be counting up to 63. I know you might think it's 64, but it's not happening. We're not doing it.
Yeah, that can't happen just yet. But we're going to be setting up our 64 floor glitch by going up and down these stairs 63 times. So if you feel like leg day is like, you know, you had a big meal Saturday, it's Sunday, it's holiday weekend, you don't really want to work out, vicariously, just live through our FF4 characters here, because they're going to be doing a lot of stairs.
Now, the hardest part about this counting, well, is actually the counting, I'm not gonna lie. You have to count to 63 and not lose track, because things go very bad if it's not exactly 63. But it's where you start counting. So, going into the castle is 1. Going into the room with the stairs is 2. And now we're gonna go up and down some stairs a bunch.
Yeah, you can control here by Luca if she wants to get in your way. But after that, it's, you know, we're up and down these stairs over and over again. Runners are counting to 63. If you get used to running this game, you can just kind of sound cue it. Like, it's not difficult, but it is something where when you're trying to get to a specific number that's that high, in my own mind, like, I have to focus on it. So, definitely something that every runner of this category has to deal with. And yeah, if you're late joining this, this is to set up the glitch that we're going to use to beat the game, 64 floor glitch. We need to go up and down these stairs 63 times, and then we'll take another one when we actually go through this door here to fight a boss. So the way this works is that the floor counter doesn't decrement; it only increments going up and down these stairs. So you wind up getting to a floor that you shouldn't get to, put it that way. And once we finish this boss fight, weird things might happen. Who knows?
Weird things would never happen in this game. How dare you say things like that? My god, you can't tell who's ahead between Yells and Couch.
We're all ahead. We're all winning right now.
We get to do leg day? Of course we're winning. Yeah, also, folks are probably wondering, how is Final Fantasy VII Remake gonna start this soon? We are only like barely 2/3 into Final Fantasy IV. Well, friends, please don't blink. Don't blink, just stick around. There's some cool stuff coming up.
But first, the most annoying fight in the entire speedrun.
No lies. No lies at all. It's real bad. It's not good.
This Dolls fight, because a lot of the good crowd control items basically are taken out of this version because it's of the Japanese to English switch. This is a fight where you don't have anything that can target multiple enemies at all, and kind of would like that against Dolls. ATBs can go, there's like 6 different ATBs you can get in this fight, so it can go any which way it wants. There's optimal ways to do it, but like, just if you play this casually and, you know, you had like saved here and fought it like 7 times, it would be weird every time. It'd be different basically every time you play the fight. So
yeah. Also, I just want to address chat quickly. The step you're missing for all those who got 62, which, if you've done the steps correctly, is actually impossible as a mixed-up number to get into the castle. When you step into the castle in the first place, that's step 1, because that's a transition. Then you step into the room with the stairs, that's step 3. And then when you step into the throne room, or step 2, sorry. When you step into the throne room for the first time, that's step 3. So that's where the counting starts. So that's likely where you missed your first step.
And Yells got the worst RNG possible here, getting the stalls fighting first before he got a turn off.
So bad. These stalls are really bad. Again, like Rivers was saying, if you do not kill the last orange and blue one at the same time, they will combine to create Big Doll, the big Calcabrena doll, and it's bad. It's very bad, and that is not a scenario you want to see. For those who played this... Yeah, exactly. Ooh, Rosa being down is not good. We need her up to cast Mute for the next fight.
Which obviously, you always want to mute your own party. That's definitely something that happens in every Final Fantasy game.
That's what I do when I play.
No, the reason we do that is because the next fight, there is a status hierarchy. Golbez will freeze the entire party, and we want to make sure to avoid that. So by casting Mute and having that on everybody, we wind up having everybody dodge that, so to speak. Because the priority of Mute is higher than the priority of Paralyze.
It's great. We take advantage of that in a few fights. All of our runners did or attempted to do Trash Can for the Mylon Z fight. But one of the strats that we do use is called PE.
Big Doll!
Oh no! Big Doll! Okay, to interrupt my sentence, the strategy for Big Doll, which I know very well, for no reason at all, is you swap rows, put the two important people, Cecil and Kane, in the back, get Kane jumping, and get Cecil tossing daggers. You do not want... Oh, apparently you do get Yang attacking. I was under the impression you do not get the others attacking. You just want it to be Cecil and Kane, because if you don't kill Calcabrena in enough time, she'll split back down to 6.
It's kind of based on her HP, so you want always...
Bad.
You want always big damage numbers here, basically. So
yeah, it's not ideal. This could give the other teams a chance to catch up. Yeah, this is why I hate this fight, or used to really dislike this fight so much, because it is a challenge, but it's such a fun challenge to optimize it and get used to it. And again, it is not an end run. It does not end your run. It is not a run ender to get Big Doll. It is just not ideal at all, especially going into the next fight. So, we've got everyone in the Calcabrena fight right now. Oh yeah. Finding out that this Big Doll can resplit into 6 is the worst feeling. Okay, one doll left for Couch. Got it. So, Couch and Yells out of the Calcabrena fight at the same time. Oh, Couch is a little ahead. And Vonnie is not far behind. Let's see how this Golbez fight goes, which for me is just as terrifying as the dolls. Because if you don't get your manipulations right, Golbez hurts a lot.
Yeah, basically, the way we set this fight up is we want Kane to jump instantly. He has the Fire Sword on, so he will be avoiding all of this, the possibility of getting disrupted. And then with Cecil here muted, he dodges the Paralyze spell, and you can spend this time menuing, which, for some reason, Natara, we need a lot of menus in this battle to set up something. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, as we mentioned at the very beginning, for those who missed it, this category relies on your menu and where things are positioned. So since we have just so much time here, it's a really, really optimal time to start organizing your inventory and getting it in those very precise spots you want them to be in. You have until Golbez says, and you, Cecil, to work on it. And as long as you come out of the menu every time the text box changes and go back in, you're not losing any time. So you're really saving some time. There is also an opportunity after this fight to further work on your inventory. However, you don't want to have to take that if you don't have to. Vonnie through dolls, Yells through Golbez, did not see Rydia, who's that? Unfortunately, Couch did not get Rydia skip. Or not fully. Yeah, he got Rydia skip, but he still did get the
Next boxes, which do take some time, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but he's still through. Really good timing, and now we've got Vonnie doing Golbez, so he can do his menuing.
The Conberry pulled back ahead just because of that little RNG swing there.
And listen, we don't want to skip Rydia. She's going to be here with us, and it's going to be great. However, we don't want to see her in that particular fight, because that's slower. We're speedrunning friends.
Don't worry, Rydia get her time to shine right here when she casts Warp.
Yeah, really important. This is actually the only glitch I knew about as a child playing this game. Because Sealed Cave is awful, and no one should have to do it ever.
You don't like trapdoors?
No, I really do not. Ooh, fascinating. Okay. Oh yes, sorry, this is 9 item. Okay. The things you change and manipulate again kind of shift depending on the route. So, did you know in that room, if you cast Warp as soon as you're done with the cutscene, you'll go back into the treasure room, and the crystal will still be there. Because this has become the Sealed Cave treasure room. And now we're in a desert, with a crystal that we're not supposed to have, but don't worry, we're falling through the world. So welcome to the 64 floor glitch. The 64 in question is screen transitions. So we get up to 63, and then we leave the crystal room properly, like through the door, not through the warp, because the warp doesn't count for some reason. And, the game programmers, in an attempt to save space, because these games, they only had so much space to save them on, decided the game would only increment the number of steps you've taken, whether you went up or down. It wouldn't increment up and decrement down. It would just increment. So if you do that 64 times, you're kind of in the right, setup, you just break things. So we're currently climbing out our 64 floor hole.
Right, so what we're doing along the way here is we're dropping off Kane to free up a party spot, leave him at the Seal Cave, and then we're going to go to the moon and pick up a little character named Fu Soya, who is basically the end-game helper for the entire party. And
we have to get our mop to clean things up.
Correct, yeah, and from there, then we're going to start making our way maybe towards, is there an in-game boss in sight? Let's see what we can find here on the 64 floor glitch.
Yeah, exactly. So you gotta make sure you've got that crystal, because then you trigger the cutscene. You get rid of Kane, who, surprise, surprise, betrays you again. Yang gets real into ninja cosplay, which, you know what? I appreciate that. Sometimes you get cold in those caves, and
I think it's a good change. I think it's a good look.
Look at him. He looks fabulous. And then again, Yang looks fabulous no matter what he's doing. Yang's just great. So all of our runners are in the 64 floor glitch. Now, when we talked about we have to set up lots of different things because they matter. We had to park the hovercraft on the correct spot. We had to put a yellow chocobo. We had to let it leave the screen at the right time. We had to place a black chocobo in a certain spot. Money has to be good. Time has to be good. All of this happens in this magical glitch. The items, as they are placed in our inventory, set up coordinates of X, Y, and Z coordinates for item position, and number of the stack. So that's why what items we get in what number, in what placement matters so much. And those are going to be like our warp transitioning in the glitch. You don't have to figure these out yourself. All the setups are in the notes. So
yeah, we have guides.
You don't need to... Yeah.
It sounds very dense, and I get that, but this is...
It's not.
Once you figure it out, it's not that bad.
It's not, no, because you just learn what you have to do for the setup. It makes it a little scary if something suddenly goes wrong, and then you're just like, how do I fix this? Because I don't understand what's happening in the background. But the more you do it, the more you learn what can and can't go wrong. Okay, so accident...
Over the course of the run, we've seen, the chocobo parking, the hovercraft parking, yellow chocobo, all the inventory buying, like all of this is just for this one glitch to work.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's just so many pieces. But look at how cool this is. This was the first full Final Fantasy IV run I learned, and I still run it when I run Final Fantasy IV because it's just so much fun. It's fabulous. So yeah, they're swapping around Fusia's spells for no reason whatsoever. after they get our favorite mop from the moon. Shuffling items around again, changing things like battle speed and screen color changes things. Now that we've gotten back to the dwarf castle, we're gonna shuffle some of our spells around again. Don't worry about it, it's fine. We're gonna cast exit. One of the first few times we do that on purpose. And then, my friends, welcome to the moon.
Yay!
Yay!
Hey Natara, want to tell everybody to play the Medio game?
I was just getting ready to do it. So, we love to play a really fun game here called Damage Can Sid's Medio Do? Because Sid is not a magic user. So, chat, get ready. Put your guess in the chat. It is arranged between 1600 and 2100. Closest without going over wins. So, 1964, I'm gonna say. If it's already been guessed in chat, I will defer to the person who guessed it first. I'm not gonna be able to see all these numbers though, but...
No, there's no way we're picking a winner, but whoever you are, we're proud of you.
And you'll know you won. And again, Price is Right rules. Now, it's not this fight, it is the next fight. We'll let you know, because it's supposed to be Fusuya in this fight, but we broke it a little because he's in our party. So, it's gonna be a bit neat. We're gonna see how much damage, because it still uses Sid's magic stat, even though he's not supposed to be there. And let us be clear, it's not very high. Why is Sid here? Magic.
Sid is here because we have Fusuya in the party, and the game is kind of like, well, who's close to Fu in our code? Oh, it's Sid. Sure.
Oh, yes, to explain Chocobo, nothing has happened to Chocobo. What is happening on his screen? One of the things that is very important is in-game time. So, Vonnie is currently waiting for an ideal time. Unfortunately, his in-game timer was not what he wanted it to be. And if you try and leave the screen you're on with a bad time, you will soft or even hard lock the game. So, you don't want to do that, and there is no save point in the middle of the 9-item route. So, you don't mess around, you make sure you're correct. And so, he's unfortunately just gotta sit and wait. It happens. It's just...
You gotta be safe.
Yeah, exactly. So, we are getting there. Medio time, so... Golbez, don't worry about Golbez, he's fine. He does whatever he does. Sid, what you gonna do for us, friend? For Yellsrec, our winner is... 1928. So I lost that one. So anyone who got it without going over. Now, we have 2 more chances, friends, so there can be 3 winners here. And again, we're not checking, so we'll just trust you. You say you won, you won.
Sure. Take a win, leave a win.
Yeah, take a win, yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's check on couches. Couches, Sid. 1968. Oh, I got real close on that one. I won that one. I guess 1964. Heck yeah.
Living in the 1900s. So Vonnie actually threw now. We'll get to be in these cutscenes too.
Yeah.
Very happy that he played it safe, and everybody got through. This is really good.
Really good. Like, you can just... It can go very bad there. Also...
Seeing that 144 on my timer, that was a sick feeling, because there's a gap. There's a couple gaps in the front end of that minute where you can go, but at this point, we were close enough, I figured I would just hold on to it, so...
Yeah, you don't risk it in a marathon, because that's literal, 10, 15 minutes he would have lost if he soft-locked. So better to wait the, 1 or 2 minutes and not risk it. Definitely the right call. So here we are at the end of the game, with a party that's barely level 20 some odd. But don't worry about it, because you're seeing some hot tech here right now. Did you know that you can save an entire 12 seconds on your run just by running through this entire cutscene?
Team Tomberry runner probably should start getting ready.
Yeah, Team Tomberry, start getting ready. This will be a super long, drawn-out fight. Yeah. So, when these characters are all in critical HP, and because there's so much going on, there's lag caused by the little sweat drops of them being in critical. So by running like this, you save enough frames to save 12 seconds. It was found out completely by accident just after I started speedrunning this game. It's wild, the tech. Anyways, we are heading.
That was a Fred Coughlin special, and Fred has contributed so much to the community.
Oh yes, yes.
accidentally.
Isn't most things are found accidentally? I find. My only speedrun contribution in an act for a glitch was found accidentally because I went left when I should have gone right and found a skip. It was great. Not in this game, sadly. So, we're just watching this beautiful cutscene, and again, we're asking, how are we going to beat this boss with this HP? And the answer is Fusuya. He's got 1900 HP. He can survive at least one big bang.
Easy.
And with his cure spells, he can make up for it.
What are we doing with this upcode thing? I don't. We're supposed to throw a crystal. What's going on here?
What's up, Co, with you?
And
Time.
I'm very well go.
Yeah, go. So what that was is when the spells got shuffled around during the glitch, when you go through the actual dwarf castle section, it does some magical things to Fu's spells because of the way we arrange them. And so we get this spell called Upco, which is the end of Disrupt and the beginning of, I never remember the name of whatever enemy
Cold
spell
Mist.
Cold Mist, okay. And what it uses is the reaction command, which is, it's an enemy command. It's not, you can't get this. And it's kill yourself to kill someone else. And for what I feel are obvious reasons, nobody thought they should program Zeromus to have defense against an enemy skill, because
why would they already have them? Yeah.
Why? So yeah, you just blow Fu up. You literally recruit your favorite mop to blow him up to finish the game. It's beautiful. It's just so great.
Yeah, the reaction spell is learned from the grenade, which is a moon enemy, and if you cast a lightning spell, lit 1 on it, it casts reaction, and that kills the entire enemy party, basically. And so we just grabbed that spell, and we're like, yo, what's up?
Yeah.
C is E.
Exactly. So we are gonna do the last one.
Nothing to it.
We are just doing our last fight. So if anyone's interested in speedrunning this game, could you post the knowledge base one more time in chat for them, Rivers? So we have been the Final Fantasy IV community. I'm Natara with my lovely co-host Rivers McCown. And please come speedrun Final Fantasy IV with us. This is a super fun game, a really amazing community. I've never felt so welcomed by a community in my life, and I've been in a lot of really excellent communities, so that says something about this one. So definitely come hang with us, come learn how to send your mop and defeat your final boss.
It's a big board, sub 2 is free, that's what I've heard.
Team Chocobo, get ready.
Yeah, and I feel real called out right now.
It's okay.
I'll get my sub 2 one day.
you got sub 2 in the
quality of life. It's easy in there.
Team Chocobo, that is time.
Okay, it's gonna show up a little late on stream because Vonnie's stream was delayed. But congratulations, everyone! Good luck, FF7. You're fabulous, and we love Tifa. Just saying. Bye, everybody!
Bye!